Hey guys, and welcome to the THC Shooters. I'm Noah, and I'm with Giacomo today, and we're doing a little tent talk. Number 3, it's been a little while. We're about to get the re-uploading of the last tent talk today. We apologize for that. We had a lot of technical difficulties with that file and actually finding it, and just I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it. Well, we are about to have that re-uploaded today for everybody to listen to, and we're just gonna see how it goes, I guess. Giacomo, how you doing today?
Well, thank you for the intro, Noah. I mean, I'm doing great, honestly. Quite the intro, bro. But I'm doing great, bro. I got a lot of stuff going on in my grow.
So,
Yeah,
Giacomo,
bro.
speaking about getting right into it, honestly, last
Bro.
tent talk number 1. Let's talk from that, right?
Uh-huh.
Nobody even knew that you had a room going. Nobody knew really the full scope of things. So how about you just start with how the room's going, what it's looking like, everything like that. I think everybody just knows about the Trollmaster, and that's it.
I mean, yeah. So I got the Trollmaster hooked up, and now I got a 4x. What is it? A Vivo Sun tent, I think it is. And then I have a what is it? Mars Hydro 2x2 tent. Yeah, right now I'm running my 2x2 only with 16 plants in solo cups right now. So kind of just vibing, but I've gotten a couple more additions into my little room. I now have an AC, a res, and a DQ all ready to go. My 4x8's ready to go, which I'm actually going to turn on in probably like an hour or two after this podcast. And I'm going to put the 16 plants that I got in the 2x2 into the 4x8, and I'm going to pump them with a little bit of far red spectrum from my new Think Grow LED light that I got.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll speed up the process of them showing what sex they are, so I can throw out the males ASAP.
Definitely. That's always exciting, getting moving plants, whether it be transplanting, whether it be just giving them a little bit more space, especially, you got 16 plants in a 2x2. It must be nice.
Yeah, it's a little crowded. It's a little crowded.
Moving those into a much bigger area. What is that? I don't know, 4 or 5 times as big. So
yeah,
must be awesome.
It's going to be a nice change.
I mean, last time we've already had our VPD conversation. You ran into an issue yourself with the beginning of this grow. How about you get into that a little bit and explain it a little bit to the people? I mean, keep in mind, everybody, he is in a 2x2, which most people that know, if you're going to stick, what do you have at first? You had 26,
24. Because I popped
24.
2 packs. Yeah, 24.
Okay, yeah. So 24 packs. Seeds into a tent. You're going to have a lot of, it's going to be a very high humidity just because of how much soil you have in there and how many plants are transpiring. So 100%. How about you tell us a little bit about that?
I mean, yeah, so starting off, before I put these 2 tents into my room, I really had no idea what VPD was. Still only been growing for like a year and a half, 2 years. So kind of VPD kind of slapped me in the face and was like, you kind of need to learn about me like right now. And I was like, shit, all right. So I just got to researching, found out like what VPD was. I figured out that like my humidity and my temps were literally exactly the same, if not my humidity was higher than my temps. And that was just like no go. I was like almost at like a negative VPD. This shit was it was bad, bro. My plants were turning yellow real quick.
I remember you sending me a screenshot of that, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
that's." I was like, maybe for seedlings like that just popped out, this would be perfect. But you are,
I was a little past that point.
Yeah, you're in a weird position right
now.
Yeah,
dome was off. They were already transplanted at the solo cups. It was not looking hot. But
exactly.
Ordered a DHU. Yeah, that solved my issue real quick.
You said earlier, right? You did 24.
Yep.
Now you have 16. So how are you? I'm interested. I have my own way of killing off genetics. Of course, I've never ran 24 seeds at once. But when you're running a 24 pack, how are you? You haven't even got a sex yet. You never did sex tests, anything like that. How 100%. Are you picking your genetics? I'm interested.
Like I said, still been growing for 2 years. Haven't really done a lot of pheno hunts. My first pheno hunt, first time really growing 24 seeds. The max seeds that I popped last time, I think, was 2 or 3. Before this, I had only successfully grown like 1 plant that gave me 10 grams. So I kind of just bit more off than I expected. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
bit a little bit more off than maybe I could chew, but we're still out here. It's going well. It's going a lot better than I expected it to go. I
I'm definitely the
mean,
one that recommends to everybody that, if you think that yield isn't enough and you don't have the money to spend on a, CO2 room,
yeah,
then it's like just grow more plants. And
100%.
especially you doing just popping 24 seeds, at this point, you've learned so much more than you've learned, I don't know, in
Popping
any
my
other row.
my two seeds. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
100%.
just up to this point, you've seen so much genetic expression. You've seen some mutations.
Yeah, I've seen mutations.
What
I've seen some crazy
what
stuff.
is?
Hold on,
Yeah,
hold on. So what I look for in the bad genetic, if in my genetics to pick them, is I was looking for like the thickest stems, like the most sturdy plants, basically, because they all look pretty much the same, to be honest. Like I had 12 raining guavas, so I had to pick up like 12 raining guavas that looked all exactly the same, leaf structure, everything basically looked the same. So all I really had to go off of was the difference in like the diameter. Is that the diameter of
yeah.
the
That I
stem?
mean, that yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
exactly.
sure. Yeah, the girth of it. So I just went on the girthiest stems. I picked those, and I didn't kill off any of the raining guavas. Let's make that clear. First of all, I still have all 16 plants that I popped, because
Yeah,
eight of the bananas and guavas didn't make it. Didn't even seeds didn't pop. They were just duds.
yeah,
Still shout out to IBM though. He's still the
yeah.
homie. He's still the
That's
homie.
and
I would
some
still recommend his genetics because those shits are resilient. Let me tell you, they had BPD issue for like 2 weeks and they are now killing it.
oh, and then
Um,
they had that their temperatures were super high, higher than I've
oh
ever
yeah,
had my seeds
I was
at.
hitting like 93 at my max temps in some days
Well,
with like a
yeah,
freaking 80 humidity. It was a little wild, you know what I mean? 80% humidity
and
relative. So
so yeah, on to keeping on genetic expression. The mutations you saw. If everybody's been following the Instagram, you might have seen that he's had this weird mutation of tops. Right? Is that what it is?
yeah,
So I've
all my
I've never
bananas and
seen it,
guavas.
and
I'm
I've
pretty
only
sure.
seen this once. I've seen a couple, like tri tops instead of
Hmm.
two tops. They pop three tops. So
Hmm.
how I don't know, how did it start, and then how's it going? What is this mutation that you're seeing, right?
Yeah, no, so it was super interesting. So I didn't really notice it until I don't know, I would say like about a week, not even a week ago, like 3 or 4 days ago when I told you and I posted on the Instagram. That's when I kind of really like realized. But all the raining guavas were kind of like their leaf structure was like more spread out. They had like the leaves were more spread apart. It wasn't as like dense of an area of like leaf just packed, into like one dense green area. It was kind of more spread out. There was a lot of like air in between them, like you could see in between them and stuff. So I don't know. And then I just saw one of them that just like had a weird mutation that I sent you that had like, and you told me it was like a nitrogen thing or something that had
Yeah,
that
that's what
super
I
weird
thought at
leaf.
first.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was like, all right, screw it. I'm gonna just take this top off. Like I'm gonna take the middle off and just top the plant and see what happens. It
Hmm.
topped successfully, and I was like, okay, cool. So then I was watering plants. I was trying to figure out how to do my drippers. Actually, that's what made me find it. I was trying to figure out how to do drippers because I'm setting up my irrigation system, and like all the bananas and guavas, mind you, I only have four because those are the only four
Hmm.
that made it. So all of them just had like a super dense leaf structure in the middle, and I just thought that like they just had like a super tight leaf structure, and it was just that strain.
Yeah,
But it was really that they just topped themselves. Each one of them has it like topped themselves. I didn't do anything. I just watered the plants.
that's
I haven't
awesome.
touched any of them. Basically, just a genetic mutation in every seed basically that I have of the bananas and guava have just topped themselves.
That's crazy. I mean, I've never seen just a natural of a topping itself, but
Yeah, and it's
honestly, if you're
consistent.
seeing
Like
this,
it's
yeah,
consistent.
that's what I was about to say. If you're seeing this consistently, then it's like this would be a perfect genetic just to pop from bean if it has a
Yeah,
consistency like that, because
100%.
you're gonna always be able to just have twin tops without even having to put the work in,
Yeah,
never
you don't have
slowing
to
down
train it. It does
growth.
it itself, 100%.
Exactly, and that I don't know, for some
I think it
growers that
does
might be
stunt the growth a
amazing.
little bit. Like you can tell, 100%.
Okay, okay,
Based on
compared to the
like
other ones.
compared to the rain and guavas, the bananas and guavas are stunted. I would say like an inch or two,
Well, you could
but
say
they have
you could
double the
say
growth.
yeah, I was about to say you could say stunted, or it's just putting that growth into different places because it
Yeah,
has
one
two
hundred
tops
percent.
instead of like a
Yeah,
Christmas tree kind of training.
exactly,
So
exactly. But they look
but yeah,
healthier than the rain and guavas. I will tell you that.
just a second ago, and I've
Mhm.
seen on the Instagram too, keeping it on that track. You've gotten some comments too. What's up with nobody runs drippers in 500 mils? I've ran drippers in the 500 milliliter solo cups. How's that working? How are you getting
Dude.
water? Do you have a reservoir going? What's up with that?
Yeah, so actually, yeah, we were talking about this earlier. Shout out to Fully Meltable on Instagram. That's the homie. He was laughing at me because I got drippers in my solo cups. But yeah, no, honestly, I'm just trying to figure out this irrigation thing, bro. Like, I'm just trying to like understand it, like kind of just get my hands dirty with it. I know you don't need them. I could definitely hand water. I might hand water the other 8 plants that I have that don't have drippers. I'm just trying to like understand it fully and like kind of get my hands dirty so that when I set it up on my 4x8, I get it right the first time.
Definitely
And
just learning how to do it.
exactly, like I've already
Simply.
run into an interesting issue. Like my res, I filled up my res and I left it there for like a week, and like the darkness covered it up, everything, and like I got like a weird like film on top of the water.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Like,
me and
yeah, a
Noah have been
biofilm.
kind of talking about that. Yeah, we're trying to figure out what that is. It might still just be something in the hose because my hose is old, but I got a new hose coming in now, so we'll see if it makes
Yeah,
any difference.
definitely.
But
And just making sure stuff is clean and all that type of
exactly,
stuff. And
exactly.
we talked about that. Like, very rarely, I mean, I don't think are off of a well,
No, I
unless
am
it's
off
a
well.
joint well. You're off of a well. So,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there could be some type of matter going into that, but most likely that's running through a well system that is either making into a soft water if it's a hard water, or it's just coming straight through a carbon filter, an
Mhm.
RO filter, something like that. If
Yeah.
it's going through an RO filter, then it's definitely something in the pipes or the hoses.
No, yeah,
It's
it's not going through an RO filter. It's
Yeah,
straight out of the
so it's
hose.
straight out of the hose. So yeah, it could be something in the well.
Mhm.
In the future, if it's working right now, it's clearly working on your plants right now, right? So,
No, yeah, I
but
mean, worst case scenario, probably just drop some hypochlorous acid in it, in the res,
yeah,
clean the water,
and
as
see
we were
if the
talking
water
about.
stays a little bit cleaner. I mean, the
Mhm.
biggest thing, I've seen a little bit of this. I've had some biofilm issues in the past. Biofilm, it depends how thick it gets, but if you're
It's not the
running a
worst,
synthetic
for
line
sure.
with a tiny bit of organic matter in there with some hypochlorous acid, I've never had my irrigation, my drippers clog like
Yeah,
that.
might just have to watch the drippers though and keep an eye out on them. That's
So
the
yeah,
only
and
thing.
this is also keeping in mind that we're doing, proper dripper management and cleaning
Mhm.
between runs and things like that. So you starting out with clean drippers, not running anything dirty through it, and then starting it with a clean source is the best way to keep the longevity in your system.
100%.
And we've talked about that, of course, which
Mhm.
I see you, like you just said, you're learning, you're getting used to it, and then once you go full
Yeah.
automation,
I still
if
gotta build the entire system. Like right now, this is like a half-ass rig that I got going on right now, taped to
Mhm.
the wall right now. Like this is just like a learning thing right now. Like
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to
I've
get it nice in like a couple
yeah,
weeks. So my Netafim order gets in, that's when I'm gonna go crazy.
that's when you can, because you got clean
Yeah.
drippers, you got a clean system, you got new pipings, you got
Well, I already got
all
clean
this
drippers.
testing. What I'm trying to say is all your testing already done. You're going into the grow
Yeah.
well, the fully automation, because when I ran
I gotta yeah.
what is it, monosilicate, what is it called, Power
SI?
SI. I
Yeah,
ran yeah
SI.
Power SI. I ran that a little bit, and some of my drippers clogged up, and
Mhm.
it killed some of my plants. Of course, I was running a lot of plants, but
Yeah.
when it kills a few because it clogs a little bit of dripper, it is on you as the grower, because you're the one that let the dripper clog, right?
Yeah. You
So
weren't checking the drippers.
exactly. So all right. So next up, after the irrigation, to hook up to the irrigation, you have the reservoir, which we talked about. It's in a
Mhm.
dark area, all that type of stuff.
100%.
How are you moving water, first of all, into the res, right? Because you're in a shed. It's not like you have a sink inside your shed, right?
Yeah, no,
Very
that'd be
rare.
pretty dope though.
It'd be dope, but you
That'd be
don't.
dope. No, I
So
unfortunately don't have one.
exactly. So how are you getting, first of all, water into the shed? Are you like carrying it from your house or whatever? And then how are you pumping it out? Are you just cutting a hole in your res? Are you leaving it open?
Okay, so to get water in right now, yeah, I am literally filling up my 5-gallon bucket and I am walking that bitch to the shed. and then I am stirring in my nutrients with my nice spoon and watering my plants from there. Um, and to get the water into my shed, I plan on drilling a hole, probably actually like 3 or 4, but I already drilled like 3 or 4 holes, but I need a couple more holes. Probably 1 or 2 for irrigation purposes to drain the water out of my drain tray. And I got an easy, what's it called? The easy drain
It's like the easy
thing
runoff system, easy
from
tray
Bucket Buddy.
system.
Is that who makes that shit? Bucket Buddy? I don't know.
The Bucket Company,
The
right?
Bucket Company, that's
Yeah.
what it is. The Bucket
Yeah, they
Company
raise
makes
like
that.
6 inches.
Yeah, with the
Yeah, those are pretty
PVC. So I
nice.
got one of those. I'm gonna put that in the 2x2 for my mom's, I think. I don't know. We'll see how big it is. And then I'm gonna get a drain tray, probably elevate the drain tray for my 4x8. Yeah, I'm gonna attach a hose, run in a 150-foot hose from my hose spigot through the jungle that is my backyard
Yeah.
into yeah
I've seen
into
that.
the
I've seen that garden. That is
yeah, and I'm
that's a
probably
thick
gonna have to put
one.
it underground.
I'd probably be
So
smart enough
it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be
or
rough.
smarter. But that sounds like the best way to go because I've had to haul water before without a hose. Dude, it sucks.
I mean, it's not that bad
65
because right now
gallon
they're still
res,
seedlings.
so yeah,
Oh,
well, right now, yeah,
65
right
gallons? Oh
now,
yeah, no, I'm
yeah,
doing 2.5, and that's all
yeah,
I do. I just do
you're
two and a
just
half gallons,
hand
and then
watering for most of them right now, right?
yeah. I mean, I would still technically consider what like the drip system that I have hand watering because I literally
Mm-hmm.
still have to like start them, stop them, and stuff. Like I'm really just still trying to figure out like I'm just figuring out the pump system and like the piping and like how to run the pipes and stuff. So
Okay,
like yeah, I still
it's
hand water the other
manual,
ones. Yeah, it's still manual. It's not automatic, bro. Like I still have to
manual
put the
automation.
yeah, I still have to literally put the pump in the fucking 5 gallon bucket, connect all the stuff because like it's not connected right now.
Yeah.
So
Last but not least, we talked about the Bucket Company as a good thing.
mhm.
So you recently were recommended a different product. It's called like Bud Bread or what is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, Bud
Bud Bread
Bread.
Organics by Cold War. It's by Cold War Organics, I think.
Yeah, Cold War Organics. Yep,
Yeah, I think that's who makes it. It's like a 4 part, I think.
exactly. The
I
Bud
think yeah, I
Bread
think you can use
actually
them
looks like an
individually, but it's like
individual.
a 4 piece thing that you can
Mm-hmm.
get. I don't know. I was listening to Mr. Autogrow and his podcast that he hopped on with. I forget who it is. The Captain. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. It's the Captain. This guy who wears the Captain hat. Captain podcast. If you look it up, you'll
Yeah,
find him. Like Captain Grower or something. I don't know. Yeah, they were all homies. They were all cool
Captain
people.
Kush.
It might actually be that. Like it's something like that, to be honest with you. But yeah, they were all homies. But yeah, he pumps out some crazy plants on his auto pots, and he recommended Blood Bread. So I was like, okay, so check it out. I
Mhm.
might integrate it into my feed system as like an organic once a week watering. I was talking with Noah about it. We might just
Yeah.
do
What
like
else?
Bud Bread and recharge, and
Yeah.
then
What
running
hydro?
General
What?
Hydro.
Yeah, you're running General Hydro
Yeah,
as your main, and then you
that's
would
my
do
main.
like
Yeah,
if you're
six
doing an
days 6 days a
organic.
week General Hydro. 1 day a week I do Bud Bread recharge, pHing the
Exactly.
water to 6.0 every day.
Consistency, right? And then
Exactly.
putting in, a lot of people recommend putting that organic source in, especially if you have some environmental parameters that are a little bit, not as good as you want them to be,
Keep the
unideal,
probes up as well.
exactly, and have that
100%.
that bacteria just interacting, that fungal growth just starting,
Hmm.
and everything working together synergistically. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna need it. Probably only gonna run 2 gallon pots. So
yeah, exactly. So it's going to help a lot.
yeah, I'm
And
gonna need to keep that soil nice and alive. What about you, Noah? What's going on with your grow? What's
man,
happening?
for
I heard last you told me you were supposed to be harvesting in like a week, bro. Your goal was hitting it in like no like December 20 something, wasn't it?
it's going to be Christmas Day. I'm doing a little
Oh,
bit of Christmas
Christmas Day.
traveling. Yeah, but
Okay.
so now I'm trying to harvest on the 23rd. Um,
Okay.
I'm just playing it by ear. If I am going to run it 10 more days, it's going to be kind of a ripening senescence thing. And then I'm going to definitely be doing that for, smoke. I got the whole setup for rosin.
Hmm.
But that, I I'm very picky with my rosin plants, fire in, fire out. I'm not
100%.
gonna you can't polish a turd. So
Yeah.
if it looks kind of I'd rather just dry it and send it to, pre-rolls or something like that. Whereas, the super fire stuff, I'm gonna just send that straight to a wash. But a lot of it right now, this grow, it's my first grow in a new place and a new environment. It looked really amazing, and then most people know that followed the Instagram. It grew just through the absolute roof. I couldn't control it. Didn't do a third trellis, so now the weight is starting to bend over on
Do
each
a third
other.
trellis.
Yeah, he
Just
told me.
saying.
He
I
told
told
me,
him
and
to
I
third
said
trellis it,
no.
and he was like,
I
"Nah, bro, it'll be fine. They're gonna stop growing tomorrow, bro. No
Yeah,
worries."
and
And then every day he would tell me, "Nah, bro, it's fine. They're gonna
they're
stop
gonna
growing
stop
tomorrow."
growing
And I
tomorrow.
literally
Yeah.
watched them hit the light, bro.
Yep, they hit the
So
lights.
that's
So
that.
now, yeah, some of them went past the light, and then they didn't have any more light, so they just stopped
Yep.
growing because they didn't have any more light.
Yep.
Super generative too.
Hmm.
For the crop steering guys out there, I stayed super generative the whole time. 50% drybacks. I was, 6 EC. In stretching, I was like a 10 to 12 EC. I was out of control for some of that time. Of that, it just whatever that plant was, I just loved what I was doing. I'm
Hmm.
running seeds that I made, just pollen chucking. And then there was a rare one in there. Like I just put an odd one that I had, no name, mystery bag. Honestly, thinking it's like a guava smoothie or something like that I got from a bag seed. Super fire. That one's in the back corner. That's the one I'm most excited for. Honestly, just might be 2 extra weeks, but I might just pull it early. If everything's looking super fire, I might just pull it all for rosin. To be
Okay.
honest, if I pull
And
it
if
early, it's probably
you
gonna be for rosin.
if you do those extra 10, 14 days, are you gonna hit them with a flush? Are you gonna hit them? What are you gonna do with them? How are you gonna water them in those extra 10 days?
I
Because you said you're gonna be traveling, so
Yeah, personally, I'm gonna just keep it how I've been doing it.
yeah.
3-0, and I'm gonna I can. It's awesome. I have an EcoWit system, so I can
Okay.
monitor the moisture. I got all
Perfect.
my pump and all that is connected with a Wi-Fi system, so I got
Hmm.
cameras, all that different type of
Okay.
stuff. So I can watch how everything's going and keep my
Okay.
water adjusted. My water is gonna be fine. My reservoir, as long as my reservoir stays stable, which this whole grow, I've gotten used to how the stability works. So as long as all that works, we're gonna have a good time, And then
Okay.
when I get back, we're gonna play it. It is risky. A lot of people would say I'm playing with fire, but I think I'm in a much better position than somebody that can't water their plants,
Yeah, no, 100%. It's not like you're
or
going
has like
away
a
for 7
manual
days and
system.
you're
Yeah,
hoping that they'll make it
exactly.
with no water.
This is certainly the most important thing. And if they do run out of water, then when I get home, if they're super dry, I'm gonna pull them then. I don't care how high the EC is. I think that it's been found that flushing's kind of a myth, you know,
Yeah, no,
with
100%. Flushing
certain
is a
things.
myth
So
for sure.
and it depends
But
who
some
who
people
you
swear
talk
by
to.
flushing. Yeah, some people
Exactly.
swear
And
by it though.
I'm never getting those people's way, because guess what? They smoke some fire and they grow some fire.
No,
So
yeah.
it's not up to me to determine that. But in my findings and what I've done in the past, I've done 3.0 all the way to the harvest. That was
Yeah.
my last grow, and everybody that smoked that stuff was like, "Holy crap, that was fire!" So,
Yeah.
and when I smoked that, I was like, "Holy crap, it was fire!" So, you know, it's
Like
all
they say,
situational, I think.
bro, you can throw 100 growers in a room and they'll tell you 100 different ways to grow the plant.
Exactly, and that's just how it is. It's all
So,
situational.
and they could
So,
all be pumping out fire.
yeah. So, speaking about
Speaking
problems and
about
things like
fire,
that.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
speaking of
Speaking about
fire,
fire,
hold on, yeah. What's the genetic you got in the back that you're excited about?
that bag left. So, a good friend of mine and I, we were super, we were those young guys when I lived in Colorado. We were those young guys who just bought the super heady shit. So we would always, we'd stand in line for the 7-10 drops. We do all that stuff. So one day we got a pack. It was like, it's called like a Gack smoothie, I think. And
Yak smoothie.
yeah, we got that, some of that fresh grow. And luckily we got
Interesting.
one seed out of it. One seed. It was super healthy looking. And, I got to keep it. And yeah, I think that the mystery seed that I had was an old Gack smoothie. And because this one is it looks the same. I have, I was one of those guys who took pictures of all my weed like a nerd. So I got the
Don't
old
we all, brother?
pictures
Don't
and
we
stuff
all?
like that, and I looked at it and I'm like, wow, that is, they're just they look so similar, and the smell is so nostalgic to what that smoke was. So I think on that one, once I'm getting a 3x2, and once that 3x2
Okay.
comes in, I'm throwing that plant into the 3x2. It's a 2-in-1 by AC Infinity, so it's basically a 2x2. But I'm throwing that in there, and I'm gonna probably do a reveg to actually
Okay.
get
So
some
you are gonna
cuttings off of
re-veg
it.
this.
Yeah, it is, dude. It's if you've smelled it, it's you. I don't have any carbon filters. Keep that in mind. But
Damn.
upstairs, when you
Okay.
walk in the freaking house, it grows in the basement, right? But when you
Yeah.
walk in the house, you can smell this. You can smell this, and
Yeah, that's
one of the
nice.
plants smells like cat piss, like straight cat piss. It's just weird. And then the other one smells like guava sweet smoothie berries, And you
Damn.
smell when you walk in, you smell the
Cat piss
smooth.
and smoothie
No,
berries.
no, you smell. You smell the smoothie berries first, so
Oh,
it's the smoothie berries is definitely stronger. All right,
okay. Okay. Just
but
making sure.
we're also,
And
at the end, one more thing. At the end, we're also cutting everything. We're getting it colder and stuff like that. So we're trying to really get that genetic expression going in the plants.
okay. Okay. And tell us a little bit about the internodal stacking. People on the Instagram have kept up with the internodal stacking, getting a little technical here, but tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about that because you're not too
So,
excited about some of your plants.
well, yeah. So the keep in mind, those two plants are the same genetic that I just pollen chucked and made. One of them is just disgusting.
Mhm.
It if you look at it, they're the same, age,
Yeah.
and it doesn't even look a day past 21 with how the buds look. It's disgusting
Yeah.
looking. There's some
100%.
it smells good, sure, but those you can't even smoke the buds. If they dry, they're gonna be like shake. Who's gonna
Yeah.
want to smoke that, right? So
Yeah.
if people have kept up on that, it just doesn't look good. The bud structure is terrible, but the plant structure, if it was a male
Mhm.
and I didn't know the buds looked like that, and I just saw how the internodes are stacking, I'd breed with it. The structure of it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But, and I'd honestly probably breed them together. If that was a male and the other one was a female, if you see that one on the Instagram, it's the one that's taking up the 2x2 space. That's probably going to be the best yield I've ever had in one plant,
Mhm.
just because of how big it is and how much space it's really taking up and that I gave it. But if I cross those two together, it'd probably come up with some beautiful stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
So, what problems have you had this run, Noah? Tell us a little bit about some
well,
problems.
we touched up on it. We had the problems with the light. People have stayed
Mhm.
up on that. When we get that re-upload, people hear how pissed off I was.
Yeah.
But then we also had some reservoir challenges. I had to take out my whole reservoir and clean it because I had some same as you. I had some biofilm, and that's just from the water that I'm running.
Mhm.
It runs through a water softener. I
Mhm.
do run hydroponics with a water softener. People highly do not recommend that. A lot of people don't, and I don't recommend it either. Honestly, I don't recommend it either. I
It's
didn't know I was doing
situational.
it. Yeah, well, I didn't know I was doing it.
Oh,
My
really?
plants
Okay.
look beautiful, and well, I always grow how the plants tell me to grow. So if the plants
Yeah.
are looking great, well, I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
And
you don't fix something that's not broken for sure.
exactly. So for the next grow, I'm just going to be getting a water test from the well water and actually
Mhm.
getting it straight from a hose that comes straight from the well, no filter, and I'm going to work off of
Okay.
what the well's giving me. I'm going to get a water test and then basically get off of Athena and do
Mhm.
raw salts to basically
Oh,
pair the tissue analysis. I'm going to spend some money and spend some time with the guava smoothie or the
okay.
GAC smoothie. I'm sorry.
The gag. Okay.
So I don't know what it is, honestly. If people might
Yeah,
want to say in the
just
comments or something
assuming,
like
just
that. Yeah,
assuming.
we're honestly just assuming, and it's a bag seed, and fire does come
Hypothetically
from bag
speaking, it
seeds.
could be.
So yeah, and then that's about it. I mean, plans. Keeping on that. I mean, my plans for the next run. That's going to be re-vegged, which will probably take about 2 months just to pop
Okay.
and get some cuttable clones, maybe even longer than that, maybe in 3 months. Re-vegging takes a really long time, as a lot of people know if they've looked into it.
Yeah,
On top
shit.
of that, I'm popping a bunch of beans. Giacomo really tested his limits with popping the 24. So I kind of want to match him and pop 20 to 30 and see what I can do, you know?
Yeah, now you're trying to
And
one
I
up me
mean,
here or what, bro?
it,
What's
it's
up?
not, it's not
No,
one
I'm
upping.
playing. I'm playing. No,
Honestly,
100%.
as you being, I think that I have, more experience than you,
No,
but
yeah,
for
we
you
gotta
to
push each
really,
other. We gotta
yeah.
push
And
each
for
other.
you to really show
Yeah,
me that you can do it and that you're successfully doing it right now, it's like, whoa, I've never done that because I've been nervous. Honestly, I've been nervous to do it. So now that I
yeah,
see a fellow grower that's a grow me that can talk to me and talk me through it and talk me about his problems and all that stuff that I have to look out for, it just makes us better growers at the end of the day,
100%.
you
Yeah,
know?
exactly,
So, and
exactly,
don't be afraid to push yourself. I've done some crazy
100%.
shit in the past. I back in the day, I gave myself aphids on purpose. It was the dumbest thing I ever did, but I got rid of them, you know. But it was the
Yeah,
dumbest thing I ever did, and the reason was because I didn't know my friends had bad aphid problems, and I was like, well, how the hell do you get rid of aphids? Well, they're not letting me touch their grows, so I'm gonna do it on my own grow, and I did that. So
that's pure dedication right there.
big aphid problem, got rid of it. That's
But you
about
know,
it,
you
man.
learn though.
You
That's
live and you
important.
learn.
You
You
learn
live and
though.
you learn.
Exactly.
After the harvest, you will hear on the Tent Talk how this all finishes out and how that's working. I don't know. I really don't know. This is one of those grows that I'm really playing by ear at the end of it. There's
Mhm.
nothing I can tell. Most of all of these plants are from seed.
100%. Me too. I can say the same thing.
Yeah.
I got a question though. Just a quick
Yeah, of
question.
course.
If you pop a genetic from seed, you keep the name or you get to rename it?
Okay, so this is an opinion kind of thing, right? Like, that's a great question. I think personally that you as a grower, especially if you're super small scale, we're home growers.
Mhm.
You name it whatever the hell you want to name it, right? I think
Fair.
that if you're, this is a thing though. If I'm a commercial grower and I'm working along with a geneticist, a breeder,
Mhm.
what like I'm definitely going to take their name because I have so much respect for this person that I'm working with. And if you're going to
100%.
change the name, I feel like you're just disrespecting the person. Um, Another thing is I see a lot of people these days that will cross and not tell anybody the names of what they crossed. I think that's a lot of disrespect to the breeders. Like if I ever cross, like I'll tell everybody what I crossed these ones with,
Mhm.
and just like a lemon mince and a Forza Sansochi. It just pollen chucked. Both of them were by the same genetics, like the same breeder. I don't know. But
100%. I was
as
just
as a grower,
curious.
I might, if this one to me tastes like berries, I'm gonna call it super berry. I don't care if
Mhm.
anything's called super. I don't care if everything in the world's called super berry. But when I tell my friends, I'm gonna say, hey, it's this crossed with this, or it's the 710 one, right? Well, I think it's Gag Smoothie from 710, but I'm gonna call it, berry smoothie. So
Yeah.
they're smoking on that berry smoothie,
But I
but
mean, yeah, you can't really confirm that it is Gak Smoothie, and that kind of be like
exactly.
Jack in their style if you say it's Gak Smoothie and it's not. You know what I
And
mean? Then
and
you're kind of like,
yeah, and I think the only real way to call something what somebody else calls something is not from seed. I think it's from a cut. If you call something, if you give me one of those, what do you got? Is it the bananas and guava, right? You got a bananas and
yeah,
guava. You give me the bananas and guava, and it's bananas and guava number 4. I think it would be disrespectful to you, somebody that went through the work of phenotyping this, and you
yeah.
name it bananas and guava number 4. Well, I'm gonna name it bananas and guava. It's a cut straight from you.
No, yeah, 100%. I mean, I was more
Of
curious.
course.
'Cause I'm popping all bananas and guavas and all raining guavas, so I was just
Well, yeah,
like
and
curious.
you're
Do
gonna
I
see
keep
so much
them
genetic
raining
expression.
guavas?
No, I don't think you should.
Exactly.
I don't think you should. I think you're going to see so much genetic expression that even one of your raining guavas and the other raining guavas, one might be gassier than the other. Well, what if you call it
100%.
gas guava? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
100%.
so I don't even think Ibean would be super offended with that because if
No,
he
I
saw
feel
because at the end of the day, you're
it'd
saying
probably
this
just be like
is
by
this.
Bean, you know what I mean? Because like,
Yeah,
yeah, at
that's
the
what I
end of the day,
mean.
he crossed it, so
That's
like,
what,
I just
or in,
renamed it, but it's his genetic though. At the end of the
yeah,
day,
you rename it in quotations and you say it's
yeah,
my bananas and guava, by Ibean.
hundred
Well, I've
percent,
seen people do that before. So I don't know.
yeah, and that might be the vibes.
Definitely, everybody leave your comments on that. That's something super that gets people heated in probably the breeder group chats there, the
I
Reddits,
mean, bro,
the
yeah, I mean,
pages,
like,
the
I
forums.
don't really mind, like, I wouldn't mind naming them like bananas and guava and raining guavas just by being, like, if that's what it smells and is like, bro, like, that's what it is at the end of the day,
Yeah.
bro. Like, it's just, I'd probably just name it, yeah, I'd probably just keep the pheno number,
Yeah,
if
and I think
anything.
ego is dependent on how big of a producer you are. If I am really super boutique, okay, well I only sell 20 packs. Well, I expect everybody with those 20 packs to name it what I named it, because that's just, that's an ego thing much more than
Yeah,
me having 10,000 packs, selling 10,000 packs of seeds. Well, you can rename it whatever you want because it's
yeah.
1 out of 10,000,
I don't
you
know,
know.
kind of unpopular opinion, but like, I kind of feel like if I was pumping out some fire, I kind of wouldn't want my name on it. I just want people asking questions. I
I'm
don't
not a
know.
breeder. I'm not a breeder, so I don't know how they feel about it. We would
I
have to
mean, like if
invite
I
a
was
breeder on
pumping
the
out some
show and ask him.
fire hash, I don't know. Like I wouldn't mind just dropping the strain name on it, just leaving it
Oh
like that.
yeah.
Just
Well, I've
no
seen that.
name,
Like,
no
710 does
no
that. 710.
marketing.
I mean, people know that about like 710. They'll rename stuff what they want it to be renamed, what they feel like it should be renamed to. But they're not
Mhm.
going to disrespect or discredit the breeders. They're going to say, hey, it's this crossed with this. And if you go to their website, you can literally go to their website and look, okay, well, it's I don't know, like runts or something like
Mhm.
that, which their runts is called uh uh runts you up or something. I totally forget right now.
Uh-huh.
But and if you look at the description, it says it's this crossed with this, and these are each bred by these people, or this is bred by this person.
Yeah,
You
I feel like
know?
as long as you give credit to the breeder
Yep.
in some way, and you
I don't
mention
think
that
they're gonna be offended.
it wasn't really yours, but
Mm-hmm.
you did the work and you pheno hunted it, like I
Mm-hmm.
think that'd be chilling.
Yeah,
I think everybody'd be cool with that.
but dude, I know too many older growers that have a bag full of seeds, bro. They don't even know what that stuff's called. That stuff might be from 1965. Like they don't know what that's called. Like,
Bro, that's
you know, pick it out and throw it on the ground. They see what grows. Those are the people though. You get a 5-pack from, you're probably gonna get some rare shit. Even
no
though
100%.
95% of it's gonna be bullshit, some of it, 5% is gonna be stuff that the world's never seen.
Mhm.
So
100%. That's
think about
yeah.
that. So awesome. Well, let's wrap it up. We want to thank everybody for this hiatus. That we've still seen a lot of support. We've still seen, we are getting so many views, so many more, new viewership coming on.
Mhm.
We really, we thank you guys for all that stuff and all the support. We're getting
100%.
back on. We're actually getting focused and back on, and 2023 is going to be a big year. End of
Huge
December
year.
coming, holiday
Hell
season. Hope
yeah.
everybody's having a safe and good holiday season.
100%. We're gonna be going crazy in 2023. Hopefully, gonna start putting face cams on.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, we're gonna start getting 1 or 2 posts a week on the Instagram. One from me, one from Noah.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be the plan. Stay active on the stories too. Drop a follow. THC Tutors on Instagram. What else do
Yeah.
we got? We got
Well,
THC Tutors on YouTube as well.
we're going to be dropping a podcast soon, just a very short one about our update, an update about what's going to be going on 2023, because, at first this was just fun for us. It still is awesome fun for us. But
No,
at first this
100%.
was just like, hey, let's hop on a podcast and just talk some crap and talk some stuff about what we know about growing,
Yeah.
now we're actually going to take it as it's like a real job. It's like there's actually people out there that are listening to every single podcast and actually
Mhm.
learning to what we're talking about and practicing what we preach. We appreciate you
100%.
guys, and we really want to take a different direction than some of these other podcasts are taking, and teach the people that are with us, instead of just saying, hey, we're inviting some super smart guy on the show and we want him to talk about what he knows. We're still going to invite guys on the show, but
100%.
they're
I'd
not
love to
going to
get a
be
couple
Dr.
guys on here.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to be Dr. Bruce Bugby, though. They're probably going to be more underground grower that has really
Mhm.
perfected his craft, and we want to walk through how this person has done it. Because guys,
Mhm.
anybody can do this. It's not hard. It's not rocket science.
100%.
It's just
100%.
growing some cannabis. Awesome. With that being
100%.
said, I want everybody to have an amazing day.
Can't top that. Have a great one, guys.
Hell yeah. Peace out, guys.
Doses.